And welcome to the Rocket League OCE Championship Grand Finals. My name is Hysterix, joined by Jake Edwards, joined by Yummy Cheeseman and Korea Lord. We have a fully packed desk for you today to look at the potential of our rising stars and our top four in the finals.
There's so many good teams here. We've seen them make the journey through league play, and it has been a tough one for a couple of them.
Yeah, it's been a weird situation where some went down as the others went up, but ultimately it ended well for most of them.
Look, really surprising to see SYF here, right? We were expecting Legacy to really play a bit better this
Well,
season.
Also on that note, expecting Justice, expecting Avant, expecting Ground
We're
Zero.
expecting Chiefs to 7-0, and then Tainted have had this awesome performance. It's been a surprising league play.
Even Order, they made a massive comeback, losing to Avant at the start, getting all the way back here. And even though we do feel like we have Chiefs and Tainted on top, there are two teams, the other two teams feel like they can take series.
That's actually a good point. The third and fourth teams, we weren't expecting them to be here. SYF started 1-3. Order had the 2-0 last week to make it.
Well, we expected Order at the start, but not after they lost to Avant.
Yeah, it's been a season of surprises.
It's definitely about managing expectations, but also the expectations of our top four are so jumbled now, we start looking at their potential, and especially SYF and Order, after their impressive league play performance. I think it's starting to say that the top four is messing around a little bit.
Yeah, look, SYF and Order have both really been ramping into this season. I'm really impressed. I'm expecting a lot today, whereas Chiefs and Tainted, they've kind of dropped off a bit towards the end.
I don't know. I mean, Chiefs lost to Tainted Minds. That was the big matchup. They were both almost undefeated. But the fact that both of them went 6 series wins really shows how far ahead they were.
Yeah, I think on the flip side, though, you have to acknowledge the potential of the Order roster.
Yeah.
The fact they could actually step up and beat Tainted when Tainted almost did a perfect run of the entire season and shut them down on the final match of the day.
It was great to see Order start to live up to that potential we knew we had. We expected them to be third seed. That Avant loss week 1 really threw us off.
Yeah, the only win Avant actually got.
Yeah, it was, I don't know what happened to Order, but it's really good. They seem to be really hitting their stride
They had a big
now.
last week.
They did, but isn't it a testament to Oceanic League play, how our teams are getting better and better? And even though we have two teams who are most likely, you know, maybe returning to the world stage, there's that
I
upset.
wouldn't know about better and better. The OCE shuffle, with every single team making a change, I don't necessarily think that the teams are all better
So
than
did it
last
sting
season.
OCE more?
But it stung some of these teams.
I think
for
we can
sure.
confidently say everyone's defense has taken a massive hit.
Yeah.
Anyone invested in fantasy knows that OC just concedes so many goals. Like,
Yeah, that's why the OC is so strong, because like we end up getting so many shots in.
yeah, like okay, you could.
I mean, in fantasy,
Flip
that's
it.
why
So
we're
like
so
you
strong.
could say, wow, these new teams are so great and their attack is so creative, but realistically, I think those teams are lacking the experience together to be organized.
That's what
in
happens
defense.
at even Chiefs. When they came in and they have this new roster, their defense is not as good as it used to be.
Well,
I like Korea's statement.
I'm pretty sure Chiefs have a really good goals against this season, though, right? Isn't it like 1.2?
Yeah, they have the least shots, five shots against, basically, and four saves per game.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculously small margin, but that's because they hold the midfield, and it's not necessarily their defense. When they're up against Tainted Minds and stuff,
That's true. It definitely did struggle.
Well, my
last week.
favorite thing on that is actually that Drippe has more goals per game than his opponents have goals per game against him. So all I understand, right, is you just put Drippe on the pitch, he 1v3s, and like statistically he'll win.
He's been very greedy, but like you have to have that. You have to have that player who's so good, and when he is greedy, it gets you goals. So why not push him?
He's very similar to JNaps, right? Like you see JNaps and you're like kind of greedy, but when he's carrying G2, it's like who cares, man?
Yeah, it does not matter. Brings home the money.
Yeah.
I think there's a massive reason why Drippe was one of the most expensive players if we're talking about fantasy.
Oh, so worth it, though.
So damn worth it.
MVP.
Of course, when you're fighting for RLCS, when you're fighting for the biggest OCE prize pool that we have ever seen, $50,000 US. I mean, what a season to have a close top four.
Guaranteed minimum 6,000 today as well, and every step up you get further. But I don't think the teams really care. They're looking at that RLCS logo.
It's not about the money. Yeah, it's not about the money at all. It's about that number 1 and number 2 spot. Ridiculous as well, the $500,000 World Championship as well. So the value in coming first and second is just crazy.
Minimum $10,000 US just for getting there.
Yeah.
So that's actually a 22,500.
Which pretty much doubles.
It's still huge, and you guys, you're saying the money doesn't matter. Of course, it's the RLCS qualification, but on top of that, they're looking at even more cash with the accolades coming through this season. And I think there was some change-ups where, you know, starting with our striker accolade here.
There's not a change.
That's no change at all, man.
I was setting myself up for the savior and the clutch, but no, continue. Whatever.
No, the
Drippe.
1.42 goals from Drippe is absolutely insane.
Record,
it's record breaking by like 0.2, 0.3 goals.
And there's
It's
the change.
absolutely
And it's
ridiculous.
third time as well as the golden striker.
Yeah.
Torsos took it off him once, but every other time Drippe's like held it down hard.
You got to think, maybe if CJ and Express weren't stealing goals off each other, they could have helped Drippe
It's
out.
not passing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because both of them having really high goals, they are competing with each other. Drippe's really, dominated the Chiefs' goals,
All
and
right,
that's where you see him at the
So
top.
there may not be some change here, but of course, moving on to the clutch playmaker, there has been at least some change here with Express. Hang on. Did Express
what's
get it
it-
last
No,
season?
this is his second season.
Yeah, this is his second season getting it. And Express and CJ, both in clutch playmaker and golden
They've
striker,
been absolutely,
shows a lot.
they've been
Yeah.
absolutely incredible this season, and the stats definitely show it.
I really like that it reflects Kami as well. The fact that he's got up here in second place because he has been the one looking for passes on the Chiefs.
I was actually surprised to see Kami up here. He's been very not involved as much in the attack as you see like Drip and Tors. And he really made a resurgence because he played very well last week. I saw
I
a lot
thought
of
that
passes
was
from
Kami's
him.
role, though. I thought Kami was always the assistant. He was always the person to set up his team.
I think this
like-
season, when he is stepping back a lot, he is looking for the passes. He knows that his two teammates are good, and
Yeah.
he'll give it to them.
Well, that's an expectation you have to have, right? If you're playing with Torsos, who on his best is the best in the region, and then Drippe on a normal day is the best in the region.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point. Like, Kami is really good, but there's no point sending him forward as well when he can pass forward and also can hold the defense.
Well,
and it's reflected there.
It's great to see that Kami has filled into that role of really supporting Drippe and Tors, allowing them to shine.
Now, what I can say on this next one, however, because we're going over to the Saviour accolade, there is a change here because Lim wasn't in the last season. So this time I'm right, and I have to give it to Lim. That is an impressive save record right there.
Not only that, I think Delusion and Jules coming in as the two players in the top four. You don't normally see the top four teams taking Savior
really
of the
weird.
season. And Delusion has been really involved in the defense, Jules as well. But both of those players involved in the offense as well.
I was actually really surprised to see Lim so high up in the stats all season for saves because he's been carrying his team in offense, really.
Yeah.
So he's literally everywhere on the field.
I think that comes from the fact that he just takes a lot of shots.
Yeah, I think that Lim is maybe one of the best players in terms of growth going from season to season. The fact that he's so strong and single-handedly carried ground zero.
This was a huge season for him. He wasn't much of a player, but he still couldn't get into the top four. They got close.
I don't think I've ever seen such a dramatic rise. Like, Decker's rise has been really great this season, but you saw the potential last season, and he was, like, there. Lim just out of nowhere, really high-quality player.
Yeah, it was like some pale horse stuff, but on an individual level rather than
Almost. No, almost. And that's the only player accolade that is actually outside of the top four for this season as well. So there's props to Lim, also to the Ground Zero squad who, yes, made that rise. But we're looking at our top four, and we're looking at the championship very intently here for today. So let's bring up that bracket, and let's look at our top four teams and how it's going to start.
Well, I think it's going to be a strong showing, though. Chiefs does have a bit of a favorite, being the team that always manages to win every single time they play in the first round and the second round.
Oh, yeah.
So expectation is that we're going to have a winning there from Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs are 9-0 in regional championships, so they're going to be very confident.
Never lost a series, but I'm looking at Tainted Minds. That's the old dark-sided roster.
Oh, yeah.
And they, in the last two seasons, went into the upper bracket qualifying match, lost it, and then lost the lower bracket qualifying match as well. We could see a repeat.
Whereas Tainted have always lost their first match and come into the lower bracket.
Old Tainted.
The old Tainted. So, should they lose this first game on purpose is the real question.
Wasn't it Tainted who knocked Darksided down and climbed their way
Game
back up?
7, lower bracket, the old Tainted Minds with CJ knocked out his two teammates
It's all
now.
very confusing.
Well, look, let's simplify it a little bit. CJ, Shady Express, they've teamed up this time, so let's see how far Tainted can go and if this new old dark side of roster can rise to the occasion. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but first, we start with first versus fourth. It's Chiefs taking on Order. Now, Order created an upset last week, and I think this brings us to an occasion where they can do it again.
When it comes to finals, it's always about nerves as well. It's the most nerve-wracking day. League play, you've got second chances. Today, you've got none. And when we look at these two teams, Chiefs are so steady under pressure, and Order have been the ones struggling under that.
Yeah, especially when you look at Dumbo, who's pretty much just cursed. Like, I don't know what he did, and I don't know who he did it to.
Don't say it.
But like every single season, he is like a B away from getting it over the line.
He's been a gain 7 3 times.
That's a skill you have to have, though. You have to be able to carry your team across the finish line. You have to be able to finish those tough matches. So I'm really hoping we can see Dumbo step up today.
I think he really gets in their head, and I think when they are ahead, they end up retreating into themselves.
Yeah, well, that definitely happened last season. You saw Darksided go up 3-1 in the series and then just sit really far back, and Tainted just peppered them with pressure and they couldn't handle it.
I think Jules has to be the one. He is the one that came from old Tainted Minds.
Yeah.
He was the one who, on that team, I'm going to say it was a sheep, but now he's in a role where he can take a complete leadership. He can be that guy who gives them the hype.
He's been doing that on the pitch, right? He's pretty much dominated every single stat on their team. I think he's top of everyone on their team.
Jules is by far MVP of Order now. He's been incredible. It's been great to see him transition from that sheep role and that weird supportive role where he looked so uncomfortable into that real carry position that he seems to really strive in.
Even just in real life, when he was with Kami and CJ, he took the back set. He was always referring or deferring to them. Now he is a much bigger personality.
Yeah, and even we said, again, like with his score last week, when they went up against Tainted Minds, he pulled over 900 against the team that you're expected to stomp.
One of the highest scores in league.
One of the highest ever.
Yeah.
That whole series, he was amazing as well. 1.75 goals the whole series, like 0.5 assists.
It was definitely a standout performance. But when you're going up against the Chiefs, are we going to see that same performance? This is a whole different animal coming through.
Jules did that last season. He was a big factor against Legacy in the lower bracket.
Yeah.
He single-handedly was the factor that got them a 4-0.
Sheep turned into the wolf.
In the lower bracket.
And then he had a strong performance.
He had a strong performance against Darksider.
Well, I'm coming into this matchup with expectations out the window. There's potential for both teams because Chiefs have already shown their potential and because Order showed it last week. Let's move straight into predictions because, Korea, I want to start with you. This is the matchup to watch because if Order can do well here, then they could triumph.
I mean, I really would love to bet on Darkside or Order or anyone else, but it's going to be Chiefs all the way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're just too dominant. I don't think we've seen a huge gap in any drop-off in skill by the swap out of Jake and Kami. Yep. And even if it was, I think Order on their best day are only comparable to, like, Chiefs on their kind of worst.
And despite Chiefs going 6-1, losing a series, and we're holding that against them, it was a 3-2 that they lost. They still have a 20-4 record across the season, a 3-0 record against Order, and I think Order is a better team now, but it's not good enough to take the Chiefs.
On that note as well, in both OCE championships this year, I mean, Chiefs have dropped hardly any games whatsoever. It was flawless last season. It was almost flawless this season, bar a couple of games.
But there's a better game record this season than series record.
So you got to keep that in mind. Yummy, let's move on to your prediction. I mean...
Let's move on to Jake's prediction.
Okay, Chiefs for Yummy Cheese. Jake, continue.
So I'm slightly more worried than these two about Chiefs because last week was their one time to really prove themselves against equal competition, I guess,
like this.
kind of. And they faltered. So you have to think, is that mentality a bit off? Can they perform under pressure? I definitely agree with you, Tom. They're just a class above Order, so I think this will be like a 4-2. I think Order might win the first two, and then Chiefs will warm into the series and then really comfortably
you question Chiefs, but I also question Order and their nerves.
Oh,
so,
Like, you're like betting against the guys that have the worst ever top bracket score of 3-1.
I have no idea how to what to expect from Order, though, because you'd think, like, Zen, probably a shaky player. Jules, known as a shaky player, but last week they showed up, and results matter.
I can't argue with what you guys are saying here. And normally I'd be the person to...
I'd
normally be the person to say, look, there is potential for upset, and I think there is. But with Chiefs' track record, anyone to bet against them in this first matchup, this first series, and remember, it is a best of 7. They've gone the distance before. I think they're going to do it again. It's a unanimous desk. And I know you guys hate to see that at home. However, jumping into this first game when Jake and I take it away, you guys are going to have to keep an eye out because this is Order's chance to shine. Let's jump in. The first series of the grand final. It's Chiefs and Order in the best of 7.
So again, I want to see Jules keep up this amazing, just carrying he's been doing for Order. If he can keep this up, and if Zen and Dumbo can also really get involved, I think Order can definitely make Chiefs sweat a bit.
Can they get off the ground in this first game? The Chiefs getting attacked on nice and early, and the pressure surmounted there by Order. They come through for the intercept. Chiefs looking at that world stage very seriously, and a lot of people expecting them to rejoin. Drippe will go through the dribble, but blocked out in the defense. Torsal's going to continue that attack and try and center the ball down, but Jules comes in with a swipe away.
We're going to want to see Order really get the ball out of defense. Chiefs have been amazing at keeping up pressure this season, and Order are going to have to find something new to get it out.
And again, for that game 1, try something new here. The first game might not mean much in a best of 7 if you can claw your way back. If you want to try something new, this could be the time.
It's still so hard, though. Nerves are high. Everyone's feeling a bit uncomfortable. You should expect really safe gameplay, maybe a low-scoring game.
Also, the experience from you, Jake, as well. That was a moment for Jules. He came around the corner really fast on that ball. Zen will center it down, but there's been too much breathing room for Chiefs. They regain that defense, they clear it away, and now the attack starts. It's Kami with the intercept. He won't get the challenge out of the way. Torsus comes in off the roof, the bounce. It's Zen again from the corner. Kami coming through. The aggression from Chiefs, it's right there from the corner. The bounce down, taken away. Could have been a good touch by Jules.
Order have actually made some really good half chances right now. Chiefs' pressure, it's not looking super threatening. They're sitting very far back, and Order aren't going to be worried about that.
I don't think we're expecting Order to have this kind of power play this early into the series, but they already have. They're on the attack again, and this many times the Chiefs unable to find massive clears until now. And Order just playing with the ball. Remember, game one. Sometimes it hasn't been so good for the Chiefs.
I'm impressed with Order right now. Again, we were worrying a little bit about their nerves. Again, a bit of an untested team. Zen known for being a bit nervous, but they're looking very calm right now. This is controlled gameplay. No one seems to be worrying too much.
Even on the defense, Dumbo reading the second touch well.
Yep.
Off that backboard, they finally get some speed on the ball. This is a chance for Order. The touch to the side, it's Kami. Jules will now wait on the ramp, but he doesn't find it. Is anyone in defense? Well, Zen is just going to have to reposition as Kami doesn't get his freedom with the ball. Zen goes in for the solo. Dumbo helps him out. Now it's Order once again on the attack through the defense. They find it. Zen there with the touch. Slims out. Great defense by Drippe. A close call. Jules to come in. Land it down in the goal square, but Order had their chance to strike.
Absolutely classic Psionics post right there. That is that's absolutely awful, man. Order deserve to be 1-0 up right now, and Chiefs should be worried.
Such a feels bad Reddit. Well, Order, they do get some breathing room once again, though.
Order are making great chances. Look at that from Zen. If Jules was there, that would have been a goal. They're creating such dangerous chances that Chiefs aren't right now.
More opportunities. Chiefs now able to get through from the corner. What can Chiefs do again? Kami waits in. 2 minutes left remaining. A 0 all game here in game number 1. Now, if Order can just find one goal, that might be all they need, but Chiefs are here now.
This is dangerous.
Drippe, he won't find the double touchdown. Jules actually doesn't get the defensive touch, but the pass away by Jules. Sorry, excuse me, Zen. Demo onto Torsos. We'll just halt that aggression once more.
You don't want to see that from Order. You see Drippe coming up with that, a bit of an unexpected solo play, and then suddenly you start to see the whiffs you're expecting from Order. They need to keep that composure when times get tough.
Going in for the challenges, actually winning out some of them as well. Drippe trying to dribble it through Jules, but Jules actually sticks to the ball, sticks to the play. Drippe doesn't get a big clear out, relying on Kami. And for Order, can they break through once again? That ball towards net, to the corner post. Jules won't find the touch, but the shot directly on. Torsos actually doesn't find the clear. Kami will go up for the secondary defensive touch. He passes it out onto the right wing.
Torsos has been getting some really interesting clears. They're creative, but I think Order could really punish if they were more ready for him.
I like the word, Jake. Interesting. We'll stick with that. A minute remaining. Order on the defense once again. Drippe comes on in for the dunk, but their shots haven't been on point here. Chiefs actually not getting as many opportunities as we expected them to.
This has been Order's game.
45 seconds of control. Can they maintain? Dumbo, the bounce down. Torsos comes back in. That'll hit the roof. This is ready for the touch, but the save by Jules, perfect. The player we wanted to see step up. Drippe will get blocked again.
Order need to be contesting these solo plays. Chiefs are doing these really slow double touches attempts, and Order don't know what to do about it. They just have to be more ready.
We're asked to see the potential of Order in game 1. There it is, Jules. A minor mishap that comes out okay for Order there.
Dangerous.
Commits with the ball. Torsos not in position, but Kami is. Dumbo probably going to go for the infield pass onto Jules. Makes it. But Torsos gets there first. Now for Chiefs, 10 seconds remaining. Order can maintain this, or can they? The goal almost finds its mark. Torsos goes wide. And the Chiefs had ample opportunities there, but Order hold on. This ball hits the ground and it's overtime, game 1.
Both teams are looking really just slow right now. They don't look confident or fast in attack, and you can see it's leading to no goals.
I think right now that's good for Order. Being able to maintain this 0-all game, Jake, we talked about it last week, especially. I cannot remember the matchup. Maybe it was Tatum Mines.
The Avant game where Chiefs started really slow as well.
Yeah.
I was saying I want to see them a bit faster. It'll be tough against Tainted. And then they did struggle a little bit against Tainted.
And all 3 members have committed up here. Drippe deflects it away. That was really important there, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll tell you what, Order are getting some really dangerous counterattacks. Chiefs are getting really caught off by some of these surprisingly hard clears.
These counterattacks are getting creative as well. Jules tries to hit it off the hood. Chiefs, this is their attack off the backboard. That's the shot, and it's Kami who's secured.
This is Jules. Jules has always been plagued by this. The rough reads off the backboard, struggle with them in RLCS, and you see it costing them here again. Excellent from Kami to really see Jules was awkward there and punish it easily.
39 seconds into overtime though, Jake. Game 1 goes to the Chiefs, but barely.
That wasn't convincing.
I think this is going to be a much more competitive series than we anticipated.
Look, whatever team warms into this first and can keep that up will win this series.
Now, we're not going to say that they haven't got their sleep, because right now it's like midday.
You underestimate Torsos. You underestimate him.
But speaking of, I don't think Torsos didn't have the greatest game. He was a bit silent through there as well.
Everyone had a silent game. You can't call out anyone on that pitch for being silent, because everyone just seemed slow. They seemed just not ready, not excited to get involved in the play, and just a little bit scared.
But mine, away from Jules, is, no touch off the backboard where finding the miss. There were some good moments from Jules, I think. There were some good plays from Order in general.
Well, look, Order were creating the dangerous opportunities. Just watching, Chiefs were like, it was never too exciting. It was like, oh yeah, they're keeping pressure, whatever. Order, it was like, here's a goal opportunity, watch out. So I think Order got a bit unlucky there. I think if Jules can really fix that backboard defense. Again, it was that thing. I was like, they're not defending the backboard very well right now, Order. I think that's a pretty easy thing to identify. I know Dumbo's a real leader, and we'll definitely be noticing that, and we can hopefully see.
You'd hope so, because with Order in that point in the game, it felt like they were going to take it away. It was Zen with the shot that came so close.
So close. Oh, that post, man, don't remind me.
And I think Order will be kicking themselves about that, but they have to get back on track. It is a best of 7
in
game 2.
You have to forget about it, yeah.
Coming up now, the Chiefs have never fallen into that lower bracket. Well, at least not for the OCE Championship season.
Yeah.
And right now for Order, they want to strike through. Game 2. Let's see what they can do.
We definitely started slow last season, I remember. We lost to Tainted and we were like, oh my god, we need to play a bit better.
Yep.
And then we did pick it up. So we know Chiefs do have the capacity to do that. Hopefully Order do as well.
Order are going to have to find that missing goal that they did not see in Game 1. Chiefs see if they've awoken to the occasion. Jules hitting it up on that backboard, Trippe not getting the ideal touch. Still good for Order. Zen actually committing forward, but Torsos already up for the ball. Goes to the midfield and Trippe just lobs it away, but good reactions there by Order.
Chiefs aren't doing those really great clears we expect of them. All of them seem really dodgy and kind of like Order really could punish these a bit better.
When Chiefs are off, it doesn't feel good, not for anyone.
No.
Kami goes forward. Trippe is going to react to this one. Corner, that's a nice pinch that actually goes towards the goal square. Dumbo pinch off the backboard again. Then we'll clear it back up the field. Order trying to get back on that attack.
There's the Trippe clear we're expecting.
The first time though, Game 2, and we haven't seen those massive clears like
I think that's the first time I've seen the ball go fast this whole series.
Yeah, like, maybe.
Everyone needs to warm up a bit and remember how to hit the ball.
And if that speed goes even further faster is what I'm trying to say, maybe Order will be in a bit of trouble, but at this point, the pace still matches them. Saved by Jules. And yes, there we finally go for Jules, but Dumbo hasn't actually touched it!
Oh, excellent clear from Jules here. Again, what I was saying, they weren't looking confident attacking the ball. Gets that excellent pass to Zen, and then... Poor Torsos. Well played by Dumbo.
Very well played by Dumbo.
I don't know if intentional, though. Torsos is going to be so grumpy with that one.
It does not matter, Jake. 3 minutes 30 remaining in Game 2, and Order find their goal. That's all they need for their confidence boost against the Chiefs. When we said the potential of this team is here, Dumbo takes the infield pass, and now with that potential rising, we can see that confidence to add. Order starting to take shots.
Well, they're already looking better than Chiefs. Like, they're creating those chances in attack, and they've just been a little bit sloppy on the execution. If they can really start to get that, I think Order will be dominating.
They're going to take it up his left wing now for Trippe. Meets the challenge right in the middle. Jules comes back in, Kami off the wall. It's a good infield all the way up to Trippe, but it's read better by Zen. Torsos commits as well. Zen will get the demo onto Trippe, but an even better touch there by Torsos, setting it up for Kami. Chiefs might be able to find something out of this corner, but there's the demo again, a double onto Jules in the end. Be clear and reset the play.
Chiefs aren't finding each other in attack right now. When they're in the midfield, they're just hitting the ball forward, and they're all playing behind each other, and it's just not going to be creative enough to break an organized defense.
Continues though on the attack. They shape up a little bit better. Jules again with another save. An easy one at that with the clear on top. Torsos just drops it down for Kami. In comes Trippe, the third member. It'll go over the top. This is a play for Order once again. Dumbo's there. There's the demo. Zen comes in, but the block by Torsos, crucial again for survival for the Chiefs. falling behind another goal, that could be game 2. And at this point, 2 minutes left remaining. Chiefs still trying to find their first.
The goal that Zen got before was also a counter-attack, so I think Chiefs really need to clean that up if they don't want to leak these goals.
Need to clean up a lot of their play right now. Struggling a little bit here off the backboard again. Is there anyone to follow up? It's Kami with the touch, and again that defense. Dumbo this time the one to miss it. Drippe just takes a shot directly on net. Dumbo will get an easy block, but the aggression starting to pile up here from the Chiefs. Kami sitting around the midfield. Torsos reacting to the pass. Great angles to play with as Drippe comes in as the final member. We Torsos once again to bring the ball around, keep the momentum on it. Chiefs speeding up.
I say Chiefs are quite behind each other and not finding each other, but they are relying on the backboard and Order aren't ready for it. So I think this is a decent strategy if they can perform it a little bit better. Order aren't ready for it.
Order getting outpaced here could be a bit of trouble. That massive clear sets up Chiefs again, but Dumbo starting to react a little better. Zen pushes it up as well. The speed of Order needs to be matched here, and it looks like Zen is ready to take the challenge. Drippe sets it up again, and here's Jules, the drop down. Zen, that was a great infield pass. Dumbo almost finishes off himself, but the counter-attack blocked by Zen.
That was another great play from Order. They're just creating so many opportunities, and Chiefs are just scrambling back in time to deal with it.
What a switched-on team here today. We wondered if Order would be able to take the challenge, and in game number 2, they have to hold out for 45 seconds. Not even hold out, they're making the plays here. Dumbo's run out of boost, so the aggression might halt. They'll take the corner boost away. Chiefs looking for the play.
Chiefs are starting to wake up though. You see, they're really more aggressive. They're getting there faster to the ball in attack, and I think Order are going to get caught off guard soon.
But intercepts are still coming through from Order, and that's keeping them alive. The infield over to Jules. Torsos and Jules butt heads. You can imagine what would have happened for the Chiefs. Drippe now going to try and replicate that with the dribble himself. It doesn't get saved away. A narrow touch, and Chiefs equalize.
Drippe is just such a carry, man. That is what makes Drippe the best player in OCE. He just scores these solo goals out of absolutely nothing to carry his team to victory.
You can see Zen was trying to save it there, but there was no way.
You could see he was awkward. Drippe got that excellent first touch to set him up for the air dribble. You just have to expect that from Drippe, though.
Yep. The golden striker here in OCE. And a well-deserved accolade. Chiefs equalise, but the last play from Order, Zen will send it down to Torsos with that massive clear. Jake, overtime, second game in a row. Is it going to come through? Almost a no. But eventually we say yes.
Chiefs are looking way better right now. They're looking so much faster. I think the momentum's really with them for this overtime, and Order are going to have to find something new.
39 seconds in game 1 overtime. That's all it took. Will we find a rinse and repeat? Drippe directly on net. Jules this time will find his saviour medal in game 2. Chiefs again setting themselves up off this wall. They find another infield. It's Torsos with the shot. Won't find that one. But Drippe, this will hit the roof. This will bounce back down.
Order is starting to panic. Chiefs are getting so much quicker.
Double commit there. Order will recover eventually. But Chiefs staying down this side of the field. The midfield controlled hard here by Chiefs. What a touch there by Torsos. That'll keep the aggression going. Drippe comes in once again, challenges the ball, and wins it over. The backboard getting hit hard. Zen won't find the touch. Kami bumps in the middle of the net. Drippe is wide on the shot. Torsos can't finish it off. Can Order find a counter-attack?
You can just see the difference in pressure now from Chiefs, though. That game 1, they were holding pressure, but nothing was threatening. Now you see Order, they have to panic. They're low on boost. Chiefs are being quick and aggressive, and that's hard to maintain.
Even on this attack, they're struggling to stay in this side of the field. Zen with a great clear to set them up. Dumbo's gone up, but I think Drippe,
here's another counter-attack.
Actually wins out. Zen comes through, and that commit's going to mean it's just Jules here. He doesn't find the touch, so Dumbo and Zen, again, scrambling the key word here for our potential players. They'll stay on the defensive here, and Chiefs are just going to skyrocket towards that net.
I want to see Jules having a confident overtime. That's a bad miss, very similar to that one in game 1. A little bit worried about him letting his team down in these high-pressure situations.
Kami's just waiting back, but Zen with the touch there. Is this what they need? Torsos off the backboard. Drippe won't find the touch either. Remember, Kami got demoed. Even then, the Chiefs find their momentum. Even then, Torsos heads towards that net. Jules is just a brick wall in front of the defense right now, and it's making work for Order.
Order is struggling, man. Chiefs are looking so awake right now. It's been such a dramatic turn. That Drippe goal really is just giving them this energy to just really challenge the ball fast like we know Chiefs are good at doing.
But all you need is a solo play like this, Jake, with Order starting to push that momentum in their favor as well. So even though Chiefs are turning on, Order still pulling up a valiant effort here as we go 2 minutes into overtime, and Jules almost finding the net.
Order is still finding those counterattacks. They're looking dangerous, and Chiefs aren't looking ready for him.
There was a shot there, potential by Drippe. He's won't find the mark. So even though you say Chiefs are warming themselves up in this overtime, well, they're still missing crucial shots in order.
Yeah.
Looking to punish with this moment here.
Great
Dumbo!
shot.
Game number 2 is theirs.
Again, Chiefs are finally getting punished for these. Just interesting clears again, I'll say. I don't know what Kami's trying to do there. It's really dangerous, and Drippay's just not ready for it. Dumbo's so quick to punish that.
But you know what needs to be pulled out is that Dumbo this game, I think, has risen to the occasion. I think
yeah.
Dumbo as well to read that. Order are starting to get into the heads of Chiefs, and you look at shots there from Order. So much lower. But it comes down to one moment in overtime, and that's all it took.
Well, Order aren't keeping that consistent pressure, right? They're looking dangerous on the counterattack, but Chiefs are really the ones keeping the pressure. So you can expect that shot differential, but I don't think it's super indicative of who has the upper hand in the game. Like you said, awesome to see Dumbo stepping up. Again, he's been one game away 3 times. You think if he just played a little bit better in one of those games, he could have made it. So it's good to see him step up there, get that win, and that could be a really important win for taking this series and setting them up to qualify.
But I think what's fair for me to say, and what I think a lot of people would agree with, is that consistency out of Dumbo is important.
Dumbo's always been consistent.
He has been, but you get to these moments as well, and then what true consistency is holding strong even through the hardest moments there. And in the past, maybe Dumbo hasn't done that.
I'm not sure. Again, the problem I've had with Dumbo is he really struggles to step up and carry his team when his team needs him. And that was a great goal to see. Such a crucial goal. Dumbo being so aggressive, reading that play that I was saying Order shouldn't be letting Chiefs get away with that. Yep. Chiefs were just floating the ball in front of their net, and Order were just like letting it happen. So it's great to see Dumbo, one, identify that. Again, he likes to think about the game and make those adjustments. So it's awesome to see Dumbo really step up and go, I'm winning this game for my team by myself.
Remember, we're talking about the potential of the players, and we know Dumbo's potential because he's been around for so long.
Yep.
He's got so many hours in the game. He's one of the most experienced in terms of raw skill.
He's a grinder, man.
Yeah,
he's
a grinder. And, you know, it showed in a lot of the games throughout the multiple seasons.
Yeah.
But potential of these players showing now in a best of 7, taking a game off the Chiefs in game 2, no less, to equalize.
Well, and
is big.
I think they were ahead game 1. So
I think they were too.
Again, this could be 2-0 to Order right now.
Yeah.
Chiefs would be really sweating. But again, Chiefs are looking awake now. I think this game really could just be a 4-0 to Chiefs if they can start this one off strong.
And with this OCE shuffle, we're questioning what teams were coming out better, what was stinging the teams here in Oceania. Order and Chiefs right now showcasing the level of skill here, one apiece, and that potential, that sting, doesn't seem to be hitting Order as hard as we made it out to be.
We were worried about everyone's defense right in the shuffle. We were saying everyone's unorganized, not used to each other, and just a bit confused. And Chiefs haven't been punishing that the first game and a half. Yep. Towards the end of the last game, you started to see Order was sweating. They were not comfortable. And if they can keep that up, that's what you want to see.
I mean, you just saw it there. Dumbo and I think it was Zen, or maybe it was Jules, both go up for the ball. And right now the defense for Order getting punished a little bit here as Chiefs keep stealing the ball away. The midfield locked down with a key in chain. Jules finally able to break free, use that nitroglycerine, and Zen comes forward.
That's a good challenge from Kami. So quick. Again, they're looking really shaky on these counterattacks, and I think that kind of really aggressive defending could fix that.
You see there's aggressive passing though by Dumbo.
Oh,
Jules with the
read.
steal. And you talk about the read, this is the second time Order have read that damn ball.
Again, it's awesome. Just punish these bad, greedy clears, and Jules just really steps up to the plate. We want to see him carrying. He's been amazing all season for Order, and it's awesome to see him really step up in this game.
Such a big moment to match the aggression of the Chiefs, to match this world-class team, 5th in the world. Jake, that was the title we put on your head. That is what we claimed you to be in. That's because it was hard, cold facts. Order challenging this team here in Game 3. 1 goal already and looking to set up for more as Dumbo with a great pass to Jules will come in around the corner. Chiefs on the defense.
I gotta say, I think Order have been getting so much better as a team. The whole region, as a region, have just gotten so much better. This is amazing. Oh, Jules. Amazing first touch, and then just not the adjustment he really wanted. That should have been another goal. Chiefs aren't looking amazing.
About to say not ideal. Have they just found the counter-attack? Yes, they have. Kami, slight touch to the right. No one read that one.
Again, very aggressive from Drippay, not letting Order breathe, and then they're going to get punished. They're not looking incredibly organized. Zen could have been there, but just didn't notice the threat that Chiefs created.
It was just one moment by order. They slip up and Chiefs punish. This is the thing that brings Chiefs back into the spotlight every time. If you make a mistake against this team, they will know, and it will happen. Drippay and Torsus directly on net, but Jules is actually playing great defense here.
Well, that's what Chiefs have always loved to do. We always love to make teams panic, give us open nets, and then score the open nets.
Yeah.
So Chiefs haven't been playing fast enough to create those open nets, but Order really starting to struggle now that the pace has picked up.
Well, they're back on the defense, and this is where, even though Jules has been playing well, they're struggling a little bit here, and Chiefs able to push forward once more. The pass is good to Drippay. The demo's in net, and Torsos will not be able to find it. Drippay came close. Will Kami be able to seal the deal? No.
I don't think I've seen Drippay miss this season.
No.
That might be a first.
Let's put that one in the record books, because right now, Drippay made a couple of question marks happen here today. For the Chiefs back on that attack, Kami has a net to play with, but Jules again, savior of the day here. Chiefs still one apiece.
I am a little bit worried for Chiefs if Drippay does have a quiet game. We haven't been able to see Tors and Kami together really carry Drippay through a series, because Drippay's just been incredible. So if he has an off day today, we don't know if Kami and Tors can really pick up that slack yet.
I mean, it is game 3. It's going to be a long series by the look of it. But if Drippay has a quiet one, maybe it'll be quicker than anticipated. Order are still one apiece. Chiefs is setting up. That's a great pass to Torsos. Almost gets under the defender of Zen, but Jules with the massive clear. This is Order's chance to push up, and it's Jules again, stepping up to the plate. What a bump there by Jules! The shot almost comes through from Dumbo. In fact, it did, but blocked out by the defense of Chiefs. And Jules is very intuitive this game.
Order are picking up the pace as well. Oh, flip reset from Torsos. Oh my god, what a player. He is so incredible at these. You see him posting clips on Twitter of scoring amazing, amazing ones. I know he sits in free play for hours practicing this. He loves it. He's gotten so good at these, and he is by far OCE's best at them.
That was such a nice shot. That was such a nice play from Chiefs. And that was such a devastating moment for Order after they came so close. And again, Chiefs, they take the lead, this time not in an overtime. 1 minute 30 remaining with Order on the back foot for one of the first times in this series. It feels like Dumbo, can he get it through? Yes, he can. But again, it's Torsos on the defense. Drippay now to carry it forward, and Dumbo who has to get back. But for the Chiefs, their aggression continues to smell.
It's good to see Torsos score a solo goal like that, right? Because we were saying, can they compete without Drippay? And Torsos being like, yeah, no problem, just pass me the ball. Definitely what Chiefs need if they really want to be a nice balanced team.
Considering Torsos was having a bit of a quiet series so far, Order, there's a good pass to Zam, but the breakthrough, that's punishing. And that's the defense showing again from Order.
Chiefs are the one to counter now. Chiefs are really fast in defense. They're not going to give you those free passes that maybe a lower team in the OCE Championship would have.
Yep.
You can't get away with that with Chiefs. You have to be ready for that.
Chiefs 3-1, 1 minute left remaining here in our first grand final matchup, first finals matchup here in our top 4. That time's ticking, and Order now running out of opportunities. It's been such close scoring affairs. With a 2-goal lead, you have to imagine the Chiefs have done enough to take us to a game 4 with them in the lead.
2 goals isn't a lot of a buffer, but Chiefs are definitely looking dominant in this game. Order have really been struggling to keep pressure, and I think without that, it's going to be really hard to beat Chiefs.
Moments like this, pressure continues to mount, the counter-attack blocked again by Drippay, the midfield. A moment of contention there for Chiefs. Zen, the pass is there for Dumbo. This is what Order need, but Kami's read it well. Order again, struggling to get through the defense. Torsos this time sends it away. The bump is onto Zen. This is the run through from Chiefs. They've done enough. Game 3 will be theirs. Order falling short. A couple of goals too many. But it shows you what Order are capable of in this series.
Well, that amazing solo goal from Torsos just changed this.
It did.
Changed the momentum of this game. Order were looking quite confident. They were looking quite on top of Chiefs. And then after that, Chiefs have just looked crushing. Order haven't been able to get any good chances, and Chiefs have been constantly in their half, creating chance after chance. They're looking so much better right now, and hopefully they can keep this form up.
If they can, because Order have shown...
It's always an if.
Order have shown, I mean, you look at the steal away, Jules was the one who got that intercept goal.
Yep.
And it was all about him. And then suddenly Chiefs find their momentum back into this game.
I'm worried about Order, though. They need to hold pressure better. You see only 2 shots. Again, they can't keep the ball in Chiefs' half. They're getting these counterattacks. They're getting these punishes of bad clears, but they need to create their own opportunities. They need to make Chiefs make these errors because Chiefs are going to warm up and they're going to be like, okay, it's time to stop being stupid. Let's be a bit more organized.
Because it's such a testament to Order when we see these plays come through. We go great because we know earlier in the season, Order was just not a team to like. As soon as it was week 3, week 4, we were like, this team's not really one to watch because of their performance.
Well, they looked a bit boring, honestly. Order just
well, that's fair.
well, they lost to Avant and they looked so uninspiring.
Yeah.
And then the next week they won, but it wasn't impressive. They weren't making exciting plays. Like, contrast them with Tainted, right? Tainted score amazing, fast solo plays. They're quick, they're passing, they're getting 3-man pass plays. You don't see that from Order ever. And that kind of play style, you have to rely on the other team really giving you opportunities. And, like, Chiefs have been, but you can't rely on them.
You can't rely on, especially against Chiefs. When Chiefs are at 100%, they're not going to give you those same opportunities. You are not going to rely on that whatsoever.
You have to make them. You have to make them. Especially that's concerning overseas as well, because overseas is even harder. They force you to work for your opportunities and score them when you get them. So Order are really going to have to start, again, being more Tainted-esque, honestly.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense here. So for Order, can
like
they be more intuitive like that? Zen has gone wide with the shot, though. Dumbo, second one. Torsos with the easy block. We're into game 4 now. And for Order, 3 individual players or the cohesive team. What are we going to see? So far, I think we've seen the team, but Chiefs looking punishing here. Torsos will center the ball again. Drippe can't get the bump. Who's in the defense? Drippe
dangerous again.
Doesn't have any boost. Zen's up front. The shot's on. That's the lead for Order.
Chiefs need to clean up this problem they're getting with counterattack. They're just always caught backward and awkward. And Order is going to punish this. Again, if they can't create their own opportunities, but they're really good at punishing when Chiefs are really dropping the ball.
It works. For Order right now, I'm looking at the positives. If Chiefs are having sloppy defense, Order is saying, great. Let's punish it even more. That first goal, they cannot rely on it, but these passing plays, they're starting to match up nicely.
It's a hard thing to fix from Chiefs, though, because at the start we were saying we're worried about them. They're looking too slow. They're looking like they're not creating opportunities. Now that they're creating opportunities, it's like, no, you're overextending. It's that trade-off you have to make, and Chiefs aren't juggling it well enough to keep that defense clean.
No, they try and set it up in the offense, but still they get cleared upon, and now the risky moment as that hits the roof, comes back down. Order, this is them, but Drippe will maintain enough boost to get the powerful shot out and the clear.
Order have to stop letting Chiefs clear this ball. There's so many risky moments where Chiefs are absolutely panicking, and then it's out in the next 5 seconds. You can't do that. You have to be keeping it in their half.
Still waiting for the adaptations from this team full of potential here. Zen comes in off the left wing, and Order able to set up the center, but Jules has been left with it. Zen doesn't touch it.
Again, look, they're just giving it away. They need to hold pressure.
Room to breathe. Order have given it. Chiefs have taken it away, but back in the defensive side. Order bringing it forward, trying to collapse as a unit. Zen waiting back. It's going to be up to him now, but Torsos already up for the ball. That's a massive clear. Dumbo sets it to the side, but a good dribble from Drippe doesn't mean too much.
Looked a bit confusing there. I don't think he meant to dribble that.
But still did anyway. Order. Goal square stolen away by Torsos. So Torsos sticking around right in front of that net. He'll punch it up again. Jules will respond. 1 goal, 3 minutes remaining.
I think Order just need to take more shots as well. They're in position to take these shots, and then they're just doing bad passes. Sometimes you just need to go, look, this pass is awkward and I can't do it. Let's just take a shot. It might go in. It'll probably keep pressure. It's a little bit better of a situation when you just know the pass is bad.
We need to see the Order from Tainted Minds as that ball gets dropped right in front of net. We need to see the Order that challenge this top 2 team like they're challenging the Chiefs now, but even more so. Off the backboard, they'll leave this one confident the Chiefs won't find the shot in net. And with this same confidence, the Chiefs are able to push forward. Both teams right now should feel pretty good, but Chiefs, again, we know how they beat themselves up, how they want to be the very best right here. They're looking to be even better.
Well, it looks like Chiefs are kind of beating themselves, right? It's so frustrating to lose this way when you're just getting counterattacked. Torse is going off the ceiling again.
Not able to find it.
It's frustrating, and it's a hard mentality to get out of. That's a great pass from Torse. Kami really should be ready for that.
Yeah, off the backboard again. This is Torsos there. The shot, Drippe can't find it through net. Not sure what Chiefs are doing, but there was no speed on it, no pace. Didn't look like too much control. Drippe trying to fix that up, and finally the infield works out.
Order are finally getting punished. They're not looking very comfortable getting this out of defense. Jules needs to go for that. Jules needs to be confident. We need to see that Jules from Tainted Minds that just went whenever he wanted and scored 1.75 goals per game. Where is that Jules?
I mean, Jules has gotten the most points in the OCE championship season, I think, ever.
Yep.
910. He was a star player. Right now, we need to see that star rise to the occasion. As Chiefs finally equalize, it's the same old story. Can they continue? Drippe, a good touch over to the wing where Kami is waiting. He'll challenge up Zen, he'll win it over. An order, giving them more time to breathe. The Chiefs just looking for that ball.
You want to see Dumbo challenging that. Again, I want to see more aggressive defense from Order.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. And now they get it out. Now it's a dangerous opportunity. They need to be really confident in going for that. Maybe respecting Chiefs a little too much.
Fast passes are going to get Order up the field. Zen goes in for the challenge again, committing forward. This is what Order want to be. The shot's there. Over the top, Zen. So Order finally taking that challenge.
Another counter-attack, though. Chiefs need to clean this up. Drippe just looks lost. You expect a little bit more from him. I think he had low boost.
Yep.
It's a bit hard to leave him 1v2 there. Kami shouldn't be getting dunked that bad. Again, Chiefs need to fix these problems, but they're so hard to fix in the moment.
They really do. Kami, even off the kickoff, don't think he'll find too much. Torsos committing forward, but Jules will hit it again. So Order finding their confidence back. And Jake, you said they need to take these challenges. They need to, maybe even if it means taking risks, they need to go head first into Chiefs. And that moment there, that was head first.
Well, you can't play not to lose, right?
Yep.
You have to be like, we are beating Chiefs, we're going to beat them at their own game, or else you're relying on Chiefs.
Like this.
Like
Here we
this,
go again.
Exactly. Oh, great read from Jules. I didn't expect that at all.
That was perfect.
That was perfect, exactly. Another counterattack, though. Really slow-ish play from Chiefs. They need to clean this up.
But what I love seeing is Order getting these intercepts there. Even though it is, yes, at a slower pace, Order, they're reading the ball a lot better this week, and it's making a difference.
Yeah, we haven't seen this aggressive
Order.
Order.
Oh my God. And they're just running away with game 4. Like you said, we haven't seen this aggressive Order, I think, to date.
Drippe's having a bit of a rough game 4.
Game 4,
having a bit of a rough game 4, and we said, what happens if Drippe doesn't play well? Is this what happens? Is Drippe going to have that responsibility of playing well all the time for Chiefs to be as dominant as they expect to be? That's hard. You need your teammates to really pick you up when you're not having the best game.
And those teammates are going to be in such a difficult position right now. Game number 5 coming up. Order have secured this one, even with the goal there from Torsos. It won't mean too much. Look, 2 goals, 10 seconds. Yes, the Chiefs have done it before, but...
It's good to see from Chiefs, though, and bad to see from Order. We haven't seen too many counterattacks, though, so that we could pull that off as a one-off. But again, Order, they are looking very unorganized when Chiefs turn up the pace and seem to really struggle to get that order back when they lose it.
I think at this point as well, you're questioning what is going to happen from the Chiefs from here on. Game number 4 goes over to Order. We once again have a tied game, and which team is on, which team is off isn't going to matter in the long run, because right now, Order with Jules just hit the damn ball to the ground. Right now for Order, you have to say, look, Jules.
I think this is rule number 2, keep the ball.
Oh, yeah, no. Almost as good as rule number 1.
Oh, nowhere near as good as rule number 1.
2-0, Jakey boy, and now we're talking. Now we're looking at a series where that next game puts you in contention for match point.
Order still only had 6 shots, though. 4 goals from 6 shots is crazy. But
it's the ones that count.
Well, yeah, again, they're being great at that. They're getting these. I'm not downplaying their strengths.
Of course, sir. You're being realistic.
Yeah, I still think, I think Chiefs will be able to pick themselves up. They've been here before. It is hard to be consistent, and they are not new to being like, oh no, we have to really get our act together.
But I think you being an old Chiefs player as well, you have that perspective that is quite unique. Like, you know the mindset of the Chiefs. You know Drippe, you know Torsos. You played against Kami many times as well.
Here's the thing though, I don't know the team now though, right?
Yeah,
it could be a totally different dynamic. Like, I know Drip and Torsos as individuals, but team dynamics are strange. They're hard to work with, and if Kami can't really supplement that kind of positive energy to get everyone back into the game, it's going to be hard. It could spiral out of control. Because
Kami is a really positive. Kami is a really nice person.
He's a funny guy.
He's a really
New Zealanders, they're good people.
That's fair as well. We've got a New Zealand production. Anyway, we're about to go into game number 5. And this is the moment for Order. We were talking about potential at the start of today. We're talking about expectations maybe not being as they seem. In game number 5, if Order can keep punishing the Chiefs here, then we'll see that opportunity for Order to stay in the upper bracket and get themselves to an RLCS qualifying match. They are a brand new team in terms of the 3 put together and going to RLCS.
The really important thing, I think, is that no one expected Order to be a challenge, right?
No.
Halfway through the season, it was like Chiefs and Tainted are just stomping everyone. This isn't a problem. But then we saw last week, Order stepping up. And then we were like, do we have to change our expectations? Chiefs losing last week. Do we have to change our expectations? Is the competition closer than we thought it was? And at this series at 2-2, you have to think, yes, the competition is close. Chiefs aren't guaranteed top 2 for this qualifier.
And when Order look in form, when they chain these passes together, they're creative. They're not the side of Tainted Minds where you just see the most wackiest plays you've ever seen. But you're seeing an Order that are calm, collected, and are willing to take these risks. From the corner, they're doing it again. They're trying to take the aggression up. Zen, what a great pop-up for Jules. It's happening once more here, Jake. It's to Dumbo. It's Order taking these opportunities and playing a bit faster
And
to the
this
ball.
is what we want to see. They're still in attack, and they score from it.
Set it up.
This is what we wanted to see. You need to create that opportunity, make Chiefs panic, and then punish them in Order and making that adaptation. And Chiefs has already been struggling in Order, just getting better and better throughout the series.
1-0 Order with that adaptation. They've been able to bring themselves all the way to Game 5. Everyone said, and I quote, this will most likely be a 4-0, 4-1. I'm not talking about our analysts.
I said 4-2.
I'm talking about the public here, Jake.
Yeah.
Everyone thought it was just going to be about the Chiefs, but Order here, the creativity continues forward. On the defense now, Chiefs commit forward. Dumbo will come in off the side, off that back wall. It's getting peppered hard.
They're playing fast and they're keeping it in Chiefs' half. This is Chiefs getting tested on defense, something we haven't seen a lot in league play, and they aren't looking comfortable.
Whatever the recovery was, in Game 5, they've just sat down and said, boys, let's keep it going. So many more shots here from Order. Chiefs struggling to get through the midfield, and look at the collision there. Drippe finally breaks through, and maybe this will spice Chiefs up.
Drippe's woken back up. Chiefs are getting that counter-attack goal. Again, we saw at the end of last game, that counterattack. And it's the same problem Chiefs had. We see Order playing more aggressive now, playing faster. And it's like, what happens to your defense, though? It is going to be a bit weaker, and Drip's so quick to punish that.
And with those counterattacks, it means they're just going to be as fast here. The Chiefs getting themselves back on the board. Dumbo, that was an interesting touch, but trusting Zen to get the clear away.
I don't think he meant that. I don't think there was a lot of trust there.
Look, I'm going to benefit of the doubt here, Jake, for Dumbo. For Order in a difficult position, it is such a good pass. And you can see the attack has begun for the Chiefs.
These are the passes you know Chiefs score all the time. They get a bad clear. They pass it middle fast, and then they are ready to just put it in one of the bins. Exactly what you want to see from Chiefs, and it has been missing.
And you can see now that Order have stepped up the pace, the Chiefs have matched it, as we were saying. They've really just brought the game to an epic Game 5. Normally this would be the last game, but into best of sevens, we have so much potential from here. It's 2-1 and 2:30 remaining. I think we're going to see a lot more goals, and maybe if Order can break through once more. Chiefs right now, they've just found themselves on the attack, and that backboard, that touch from Dumbo, he's playing with fire here, and Zen knows it.
Well, something crazy is we've seen a completely different game.
Yeah.
Every game, right? I have no idea what to expect going into this series. Chiefs are looking strong at the start of this game, but anything could change. These teams are being so adaptive and dynamic.
Also doesn't read the touch and the bounce off that ramp, but Drippe does coming in. The double touch is there. Drippe-esque, they say. 3-1.
He's just so good.
He's so damn good.
He's just such a carry, man.
You want to know why he got the accolade, ladies and gentlemen? This is why. Every single week, Drippe adds one to the book.
He just scores these goals that no one else, like anyone else would score that like 1 in 5, 1 in 6 times. Drip's like every time. You see that difficult read, and you see Drip just perfectly going for it straight away, and it's like, yeah, that's just Drippe. He just scores these amazing goals like all the damn time.
And it makes such a difference here. Chiefs 3-1 now. And Drippe finds that goal, and that's the breathing room with 2. Order able to recover here. Jules carrying the ball all the way down towards that net. And Order, it doesn't feel like they've lost that much momentum, but still struggling to get back in front of that goal square. We saw so many shots from Order at the start of this game. It is slowed down monstrously.
Well, the playstyle from Order is really bad from behind.
Saved by Jules there. Kami's going to get this, though. Or not.
Great
Jules.
save. Great save from Jules, but what was Kami doing, man? You got to be quicker to those.
And a save from Zen as well. I think the Chiefs thought they had that goal easily.
They should have had it easy, man. I don't know what happened.
But Order saving it away. There's still hope in this game. There's a minute 10 remaining, and Dumbo and Drippe go head-to-head. Zen will have to read that bounce. Jules coming up as well. Order need a goal in the next 20 seconds to stay alive here in Game 5. Otherwise, Chiefs move to match point, and Order will be in a lot of trouble. Zen doesn't get that touch. That's an incredible moment. That was Jules who just pops it up, and Dumbo who comes back in. Found their goal, 45 seconds remaining.
This playstyle that Order have been playing, though, it's hard to get leads back.
Yeah.
They're punishing Chiefs for greedy decisions. And
Yep.
Chiefs are going to be, yeah, whatever, we have 2 goals. We're not going to be dumb anymore.
They don't have to be.
Order have to make them dumb.
So they have to make these decisions fast. Dumbo from around the corner. Kami, the defense continues. He doesn't get the touch. That might have just been the play they needed. Zen will pop it over the top. Order looking for opportunities, but Dumbo's been demoed. That's going to be Game 5 right there. Kami, he'll receive the pass. Chiefs just looking a lot better here, but Order, they've got something to say here in this series. We'll go to game number 6. We'll go to match point for the Chiefs. But now for Order, everything is on the line, even more so. Kami, a nice way to finish off this 5th game. But now for Order, what do they have to say?
They just look lost when they get down.
They do.
They can't. They just seem to not have the confidence to be able to break defenses who aren't panicking, who don't need opportunities. I think the start of the game is so important for Order, and they have to be leading at the start, or else it seems really difficult for them to do anything.
It really does, but Jake, let's put it this way. Putting Chiefs up against the wall like this is a great feat.
Yep.
But if you can find the best of 7 series, if you can take us to a Game 7, we'll be very thankful. But not only that, very impressed by Order. And you have to be looking right now, if you're SYF or if you're Tainted Minds, depending on how that series goes,
Yep.
You're going, right, Order are actually looking okay today.
Well, this is the closest series Chiefs have ever had in a first round regional
best of 7,
championship. We've never lost more than 1 game, and it's suddenly 3-2. They're in a good position, don't get me wrong, but the competition is so much closer than it normally is.
Always sticking in the upper bracket. The Chiefs have never been tested. They've never been forced down.
They've never been in the lower bracket, no.
Lower bracket is a dangerous place to be as well. It's 1 best of 7 and you're out. It's one mistake. If this was the lower bracket right now, the Chiefs would be on the edge. A team that's been dominating through league play, a team that has been coming up to every RLCS season with their heads held high, now being tested by Order. They are on match point. They have a couple of games leeway, but still not safe.
What I want to see from Order is more creative passes.
Yeah.
They're good at passing, okay? They're like, I can see my teammate, I pass middle in this situation.
Which we didn't say at the start of the season.
We didn't say at the start of the season because they were doing nothing. Again,
No.
they were boring to
3
watch.
individual players.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
a cohesive
completely
team.
new team. It is hard to have that teamwork.
Yeah.
They've developed this really, like, rigid, I'd say, like, meta.
No, you're right.
I'm not sure, but they just do very, like, expected passes all the time, right?
So let's see if that changes, because against the Chiefs now in match point here of our first upper bracket
Oh, boy.
match. Oh, Kami. He sneaks that one through. 1-0. That's a start for the Chiefs, ladies and gentlemen. That is a good start for the Chiefs.
Great to see Kami coming in with that solo play.
Yeah.
Again, we want to see Kami be able to have that carry potential. We've seen Torse have that carry potential. It's great to see punishing that Order defense, but just looking a bit confused.
Now Order on the back foot here as soon as it begins. The Chiefs want to seal the deal here. Torsos comes back in.
Oh,
That's
that's
a bit
a bad
high.
miss.
Yeah, Kami will try and finish it up. He will get blocked by Jules. Can Drippe do anything? Not the right angle to play with. Order trying to break through once more. 1 goal is easy to manage here for Order. 2 suddenly becomes a bit more hard.
Other than that amazing flip reset from Torse, he's been struggling in offense.
A good bump and a good bouncer there as well, Jake.
They're keeping pressure, but again, they need to be able to finish these chances. And I know Drippe has been missing a few you don't expect from Drippe. Torse has been really quiet,
Yep.
and Kami's been a bit slow on the rotation.
Drippe again, just to kind of prove us wrong. But the Chiefs, when they go forward, if they go forward here, there'll be a lot of question marks towards how they qualify or if they qualify for RLCS. Kami's good center over to Torsos. The demo comes down, but there's no position to repurpose that ball. 3 minutes 40 remaining. Order. They'll send that
That's
ward
it.
towards net. That's it. Breaking through once more.
And another counterattack. What are Chiefs doing? Chiefs had the lead. They should have played like they have been previously when they had the lead, just sitting back. But Kami just a little too aggressive, not expecting that aggressive dunk that they've been doing all series. He should be expecting that.
Punishing them for their mistakes for Order.
Yep.
This is the time when you start questioning how this Game 6 is going to go. Chiefs making a few too many mistakes, and Order are now back on the board. 1-1, again, manageable, yes, even better. It's contestable right now. 3 minutes 30. And they just have to hold out in the defense. They have to find another moment like that. Chiefs are getting heavy here.
Chiefs are
won't get
keeping
the
up the
ideal touch.
pressure.
They are. Jules in the midfield, dribbling it over the top of Drippe. He'll get it over to Zen, but Kami interferes before too long.
Kami's been great at intercepting those passes. Again, Order a little too predictable, and Kami's been so on top of it every time to get it out of defense.
It's been the one to watch, I feel like, in the series so far. It's great to also back and forth.
I think Kami's really been stepping up.
Yeah.
Again, little worried because it is hard to perform under pressure. Chiefs have such high expectations. They hold themselves as, we play better under pressure.
Yeah.
And that's hard to live up to, and Kami honestly has been.
Oh my lord. That was a good pass off the wall. Order again in pressure. Watch this one again.
Oh, Dumbo gets stopped by Drippe. That's so unfortunate, but Dumbo shouldn't be in such an awkward position to begin with. Again, Order just seemed to be so unorganized for almost no reason, and then Chiefs are going to punish that.
I mean, first series of the day as well as first series of the finals. Ample opportunities for both of these teams to qualify, but one could be slimmed down now, and it's Chiefs Kami. He just got to pass two defenders there. Easy as that.
That's so smart from Kami. He just slows the play down. He knows they're going to be panicked. They're going to be watched out. Even if Kami didn't score here, it probably would have 50 middle to Torsos. So
yeah.
I love that decision to just slow it down and not take that really difficult shot that they'd probably pre-jump anyway.
And again, it was Kami we were talking about before, saying Kami's probably been the shining light here, considering that Drippe and Torsos might not have had that ideal performance we were talking about that we wanted to see. Chiefs are on the attack again, and right now things are looking bleak there for Order. They started off the game equalizing. They found opportunities, and Dumbo trying to set them up again. They've gone wide over the goal. Zen won't get an ideal touch, and for Order, looks like the lower bracket could be coming sooner rather than later. Order again in front of net. Jules won't be able to fake this one out as Dumbo takes a shot. 2 minutes remaining. Order, time is money. Quite literally.
We're going to have to see something new again from Order. It's the same position as last game. 2 minutes left, 3-1 down, and they just looked defeated last game.
Yep.
They're going to need to bring out that something special to take Chiefs off guard, because again, Chiefs aren't going to be making those mistakes that have been leading to all of Order's goals.
That aggression was so good to see when Order were able to set up the passing plays, punish those mistakes. We saw them push Chiefs into a corner further still. This is the moment we were waiting for, but Jules just not anticipating the ball. And it's Chiefs again who get the passing play off. That's another goal, and Chiefs may have just done it.
Chiefs are just showing their quality. Again, like we said on the desk, Chiefs on a bad day is still an amazing team. They still find these passes, they still land those shots. And we needed to see Order really pull out an amazing performance. And they've been good, don't get me wrong, but Chiefs are just really showing their class right now.
I think it's been a messy series to start the day.
It's been messy,
It's been very messy. And I know you as a player would be looking at this going, I'm not sure what's going on, but it's good to see the form that both of these teams are coming into today. Even if Order right here gets scored on again and 5-1, that's going to seal the deal. Even if Order right here, Jake, find their way into the lower bracket, which most likely they will.
They're not coming back from this one.
But how they perform later on is important as well.
They're going to have to pick themselves up.
Yep.
I think Chiefs are a difficult team, don't get me wrong. Other teams, like, especially Tainted are known for making those really, really strange, unforced errors on defense.
But you can heavily punish Tainted minds.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what they did last week, right?
Yep.
Like, CJ was making a lot of mistakes, and Order were just scoring every time. So they're good at playing that style, but Chiefs have had the lowest goals per game all league play by so much. So it's a hard play style to beat Chiefs with, but I think they're still looking pretty good for the lower bracket run.
And again, I think for Order to able to push Chiefs to this Game 6 is something they have to hold their heads high about.
Well, it's unexpected, right? We didn't expect it. I was expecting, again, like I said, like maybe 4-2, but like really was like...
A lot of people come into the series against Chiefs thinking one thing, and that's that Chiefs are the best team.
Yep.
We're going to fall behind. We might not do, we might not even get a game off them. Order coming in with a clear mind here, and we can see there have been some good goals. Like this, moments to capitalize on the Chiefs' defense. At least Order coming out with style here.
Interesting whiff from Kami.
Again, it's all about the punish here.
It's all about the punish for Order, and I think they'll be able to punish Tainted. I think they'll be able to punish SYF, and I think they'll be very exciting to watch in the lower bracket. This has been an awesome series to watch. Both teams so dynamic, changing up their play styles, falling off for like strange reasons, getting punished for all that. I think Order's strength will be in the lower bracket. They're going to have that confidence against Tainted, and they're going to be watching that upper bracket saying like, please, Chiefs, don't lose.
you got to be looking at it for the Chiefs right now. They'll qualify. They'll go forward to the RLCS matchup, the qualification matchup, as we call it, and the semi-finals there after a Game 6 win. But boy, Order really pushed them against the wire. Unfortunately, they will go down to the lower bracket, but another chance in another best-of-7 series. And for the Chiefs, that was not the game we expected as we bring back on our fantastic analysts here on the desk. That was not Chiefs for RLCS quality.
No, that was Order just doing a phenomenal job, really putting their foot on the mark.
Yep.
Like, that's coming out of last week where they had that huge win against Tainted, and then going into this, I'm really excited to see where Order goes the rest of the
It's a really interesting series where I saw like a blossoming of all the different players and teams. It's like a flower garden where Kami over the series, he started
Kami was great.
And then by the end, he was great.
Yeah.
Same with Zen. He was quiet for the first 3 games, and then game 4, he just started popping off and he was good. But that didn't matter because then the Chiefs started passing in game 5. And I just have a note here, just said, scary, exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
Yeah, no, I got the similar stuff here.
Yeah.
So the beginning of the game for me was Dumbo challenges somebody and then Zen or Jules follows up. And that pretty much kept them in really good contention leading to those 2 consecutive overtimes.
Yep.
And it wasn't until game 3 that the first pass really meaningfully came from Chiefs, and they just started to steamroll from there where it just became non-stop possession from Chiefs.
That was a problem for the Chiefs last week. They said they didn't really pass much against Order.
Yep.
I mean, against Tainted Minds. They struggled there. They struggled for the first 4 games in this one to get any passes, but they found them.
Well, they're looking really comfortable in those last 2 games, you're right.
Yep.
They love those, making the other team awkward, making them do a bad clear and that bang infield, bang shot. And we started to see that towards the end of the series, and you're right, it was lacking at the
bread
start.
and butter.
Yeah, but for a team like Order, what you take away from this is that they can challenge the top team.
Yep.
Chiefs bled last week against Tainted
Oh,
Minds.
yeah.
And Order made Tainted Minds bleed. I think we didn't talk about it much, but that triangle, I think you guys were saying backstage, makes it a bit more interesting.
If you're in the other series, if you're Tainted Minds versus SYF, you have to be nervous after watching that series, after watching both teams have great performances and come out. Like, if you see the Chiefs drop 2 games in maybe not the best fashion, you know they're going to be motivated.
I think they should have lost game 1 as well. I think that could have easily gone to a game 7.
They should have definitely lost wrong game.
Yeah.
No, like looking back through it, it was Order had like a misread, and that was the only reason they had a chance. It was pretty much full possession in the overtime to Order.
Speaking of Order and the way that the series went back and forth so much, it really felt like their defense was reliant on them making predictions and getting dunks, especially for Dumbo to come there and get a big dunk to get it out. And that, as soon as I saw that happening, I was like, as soon as a pass happens, that is what's going to shut down this defense.
I'd agree that that's what was successful about their defense, but they weren't consistent with it. There was times where they were so passive and just so confused, and then that's when Chiefs really started to be like...
But it's so hard to be consistent with that style.
The faster you play, and like this is them really matching the pace, and I think it is something that they can carry into whichever team they verse in the lower bracket. The fact they had that pace go against Chiefs means they do have a chance to go again against Tainted Minds.
I actually want your opinions. So last week, I wasn't totally convinced by Order against Tainted Minds, right? I was like, that just kind of looked like Tainted Minds not playing their best.
They weren't the best, no.
But it could be a legitimate rock, paper, scissors situation. Order seemed really... I don't want to say dependent, but very good at punishing. Like,
I agree. When they're up, they're really high up.
The thing is that Tainted Minds did last week is that they played super, like, way more defensive, more defensive than Chiefs were today. Chiefs played more like Chiefs played more like Tainted Minds today than
they were
Tainted Minds
defensive
did
but
last
missing.
Week.
And then I think like Dumbo being so happy to challenge, he won like nearly every single challenge for the first 3 games. So if you can win every single challenge and match the pace of Tainted Minds, I reckon there's a fair case for you to take them out.
Yeah, I think Dumbo definitely did drop off towards the end of that series.
Yeah, the second half, he was the blossoming, as Yummy said. He was no no longer
He
in
was
bloom.
wilting.
Oh, God. I think either way, you look at that series, if, as Yummy said, if you're SYF or Tainted Minds, you say, we do not want to drop to that lower bracket because Order are able to punish. Order are able to step up to a team like Chiefs. And again, we talk about that potential of teams, and Order definitely showcase individuality there and some more cohesive movement as we wanted to see during the regular
Yeah, and I
season.
think the big takeaway for me as well is that is the biggest upset in terms of performance for Chiefs since the first season they've played. They haven't dropped that many games ever since the first season.
Well, in the first round, yeah.
In the first round, even in second round, they've only ever dropped 2.
I mean,
So
last
this is
season, the
biggest.
whole qualifier, we only dropped 1 game. So
Yeah,
they're,
the season
they're already,
before you only dropped 2. So
Yeah,
this
so-
is a huge upset.
we definitely could see
against the
Torsos.
4th seed.
Yeah,
You
against
could
4th
definitely
seed
see
nonetheless.
Torsos move up a lot more too, and that's a scary thought for those who are up against them. He was good at the last. He started getting passes, but he was missing, especially at the start. He just missed a backboard, completely whiffed.
Yep.
Wasn't just missing the net, just completely drove past
He
it.
had a good last game, but 5 rough games is not great.
Yeah.
I do agree, you can look on the positive and be like, wow, Chiefs could be so much scarier if they can utilize Torsos, but at the same time, you have to think they're not looking...
I don't know. You look at RLCS, right, and the last few seasons, Torsos has been the one that struggled under the nerves.
Yeah.
Until last season,
Yeah.
I think he has that chance to really get back into
He's
it.
never struggled domestically, though, so
Yeah.
it would be interesting.
See, I'd contest that, though. I reckon in Game 2, he was the only reason they didn't immediately lose the overtime.
Why?
He pretty much made all the connections. You had situations
Oh,
where...
he's being great in defense.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
Because Drip had the situation where he backflipped and let in a goal.
Oh,
the only
Drippy.
reason they were only surviving for the first 2-3 games was Torsos was playing well enough to keep them stable until Drip turned
I
up.
do want to pick up on your point of Drippe as well, because we normally have such high expectations of him, and he often has these starts to series where he is really quiet. And I was expecting the entire time, he's going to go big, he's going to go big. And he had definite moments where he went big and he was much better at the end.
Well, I think he carried the first 2 wins. Not the first one.
To a
Not
degree.
the
But
first-
those
when they
middling,
started to
those
get-
He got a
middling
big
ones.
goal,
he was,
but I
he was the
don't-
real leader of what seemed to be Chiefs just playing really confidently and aggressively.
He got that big goal, that big air dribble, but I don't think he needed to get that. He had Kami coming in, and Kami crossing him where he actually dribbled over Kami as well. That was what led to that goal. Because they were like, oh, we have to stop Kami's shot, and then all of a sudden it goes over. I think if he just passed it out to Kami, it would have been a goal.
I want to have a Kami cam, to be honest. I want to know what Kami's doing all the time. Because he doesn't do anything as show pony, but you know he's there because they win the matches.
I think it's interesting to see on that note when they needed someone to actually lead the way for the Chiefs. I feel like it was Kami. I feel like Kami...
Towards the end,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely towards the end. And that's what was most important. That was a Game 6 win for the Chiefs. And moving forward again, be scared of Order because they put up a great fight. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a short break. When we return, Tainted Minds SYF in another best of 7 here in the Rocket League OCE Championship Final.